Welcome, everyone. Happy holidays. This is Virginia Parsons, your Hangout mentor and the host of the Inspirational Businesswoman Show. And if I got a fun show for you, I'm back on my bouncy ball, and this is a time to have a little fun and to let go of some of the stress and the overwhelm that seems to encompass so much of the holidays for so many of us. So I'm going to start with everyone just saying, let's take a deep breath. I hope you're smelling the evergreen or whatever's cooking in the kitchen in the air and enjoying this time of year and just making a decision in your own mind that this is a great time of year to just relax and enjoy everything that it offers and provides for us. So I'm thrilled you're here. I'm thrilled that you're taking the time to just shift into a whole new perspective about stress and overwhelm and the fun that the holidays can offer to all of us. So thank you for being here today especially. And I just want to remind you that this whole show is, my intention is to provide you, the viewer, with a gold mine of entrepreneurial tips, strategies, and advice to grow your business from inspirational business women in the know. And we have a wonderful one here today who is going to share some great shifting ideas with you. I know many of you already know who she is, and in a moment I'll bring her on live, but I got to go do my shtick first, so hang in there. Today's show is sponsored by hangout-marketing.com. And this is a place where you can receive a free Hangout marketing assessment that's going to measure your skill sets and your knowledge base in using Hangouts on air so that you can brand and grow and market your business to new heights of success. And all you need to do to take advantage of that is to text the word success, SUCCESS, to area code 307-269-2040, or you can go straight to hangout-marketing.com and take the assessment. It'll only take you a couple of minutes, and you might even qualify for a free strategy session with me where we will go over your business and how you can use Hangouts to brand and market your business and reach new heights of success. Okay, so let's get started with our guest. I want to give you a little introduction to her. Her name is Elaine Nieberding, and she is the head of the Holy ShiFt show and the Chief Laughter Officer. You're going to have so much fun with her today because she's really going to show you how you can make a simple shift to reduce your stress and overwhelm. Not only this time of year, but any time of year or any time in your life when things suddenly come at you and you feel in overwhelm mode. She's going to really give you some great strategies. One is called the simple shift technique, and how you can give a yes to taking and making that simple shift. She's also going to talk a little bit about the Winter Solstice and Heartmath and how you can really take advantage of your own body's ability to smile and breathe in love and lighthearted joy. And then we're also going to talk about enjoying yourself with self-care, how you can brighten your day with laughter and play and take yourself to a whole new energetic vibration. So I am thrilled to welcome Elaine to the show. Elaine, come on and say hi to our audience.
I'm saying hello to you from Bel Air, Maryland. I spell that M-E-R-R-Y-L-A-N-D. I know some of you have heard me say that before, but I think it's kind of funny myself. And ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Solstice, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holy Days. That's what we're in right now.
Absolutely. And you know, it's just the time of year when I really feel like when I asked you, Elaine, if you would come on the show for us on this particular date, I thought, oh, it's an overwhelming time of year. It's a time of year when people have so much going on. It's certainly a joyful time of year. But it seems that with our commercialism this time of year that sometimes people get detached or out of sync with what it's all really about. And I think of the Christmas Carol, Joy to the World. And that's what it's about. It's about celebrating that part of yourself that is really connected to, I call it a higher source, but every different religion has a different name for it. And so I thought, why not have you be with us today to share some of your incredible strategies? You know, Elaine, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to be known as the Chief Laugh Officer, and a little bit about your background in nursing. I think people will be interested in that.
Okay, well, first of all, Chief Laughter Officer, you know, when you get online and you're greeting people, you have to come up with something clever and maybe memorable, you know. So I'm not the Chief Executive Officer. It's just more fun for me to call myself the Chief Laughter Officer. And I would like to encourage everyone out there, especially those who see themselves as leaders, to say, yeah, I could give myself that title too. I can empower myself to bring more laughter and levity and play into my human relationships, into my business endeavors, and into my self-care. So a little bit about my background. It occurred to me last night when I was thinking about my journey through all my jobs. My college education actually prepared me to work in the early childhood education field. And so my first work was with young children, preschoolers. And the model for setting up learning environments for young kids was learning through play. And I really got to see firsthand the natural vibrancy of youth, how it just wants to be in the present moment with its experience, exploring media, seeing, you know, how blocks build towers and walls, and exploring all kinds of things through play. Little did I know that so much later in my life, this focus about connecting with our own inner child, this and resuming and cultivating our capacity to play would really surface again in my life. So my early years were in early childhood. Then during the 1980s, I got married. I raised a family, had a Mary Kay business, and then I got into working in organizations that serve people with developmental disabilities and chronic mental illness. From there, in about the mid-90s, then in ways that I could not have explained, Reiki blew into my life. And so for about 8 years, very actively, I was a practitioner and teacher of the Usui method of natural healing, which a good number of people nowadays actually know about. It's become a well-known natural healing and relaxation modality. And it was in the context of practicing and teaching Reiki that I came to extend care for one of my own family members who was tragically diagnosed with advanced stage lung cancer. And I came to care for her using energy medicine and guided imagery, and she did pass away. But in that experience, I learned so much about my capacity to be with, in circumstances where there was a lot of drama going on, and I didn't get tired. And I was looking at how my own business, you know, as a holistic practitioner was going. I wasn't making much money. And I was also going through menopause, and I was finding I needed a job that had me physically be much more grounded in my body and more active. And I woke up one morning thinking, maybe I should go back to school for nursing. Well, my husband loved the idea because, you know, nurses are trusted and nurses always can get work. And so I went back to school at age 50 and, you know, after a couple of years, you know, got a second degree, and this one was in nursing. And I went then into work in bedside hospital nursing, eventually working in oncology. And because I did discover there actually was a nursing specialty called holistic nursing that I took additional training so that I could earn the credential. And as it turned out, there was so much of that training that I really already knew and was embodying. So I worked in bedside nursing until December of last year, and my own parents are still alive at 95 and 96, and I made the decision
What a blessing
to leave bedside nursing, give more time really for my my real drive to want to help people experience more health and wellness and touch into their, their core self. I'll call it their yes self, the one of their expressive spirit, and that core that wants us to be excellent in the way we serve and connect with other people. And so now I'm getting to have a life where I'm using the internet with Google Hangouts and serve and share my gifts and my passions in that way, and still have the flexibility to extend love and care and support for my parents. So that's where I'm at. It's a good place. I have my challenging days where, boy, I got to remember my own medicine. But these are perfect times for us to be alive in, or each of us would not be here.
Oh, perfectly put. And I want to thank all of you that are here today, because I know that your time is valuable. So thanks for stopping by and joining us. I'd love to introduce also and acknowledge Robin Holland, who is here today, and she's serving as a wrangler for us. So Robin, come on in and say hi and let us know who's hanging out with us, would you please?
Yes, hi. I am I'm pleased to say we have Dave Pipe here from Sussex, and Lynn Sanders from the Chicago area, and William Rock and Deborah Rock, and I've got to see if we have more. Just getting caught up with this. Yeah, that's what's happening, and so it's going to be a great show. We've got great people here.
Terrific. Thank you so much for keeping track of all this. When you do a show as all of us, Robin and Elaine and I are all doing shows now, you have to understand there's a lot of things going on at once. And this technology, it can be great fun, and you can just relax and enjoy it, knowing nothing has to be perfect. We're not going to worry about perfection here. We're going to worry about having a good time and making a little shift. And so Elaine's going to help us with that. Elaine, I'd like to know a little bit more about this topic you call laughter yoga. You are, as I understand, certified in laughter yoga?
Yeah, in 2011, I happened to be watching CNN some Sunday morning, and I found this program on that was showing large groups of people gathering in a couple different cities around the world laughing, like hundreds or thousands of people all laughing, following a laughter leader. I thought, what is this? And I found out it was World Laughter Day, and folks were celebrating World Laughter Day and the practice of laughter yoga and laughter wellness all together. Laughter yoga is the practice of intentional laughter, laughter for the health of it, laughter without using jokes, humor, comedy. And I found this whole idea so much resonated with me, I thought, I want to get training in that. And I became a laughter yoga leader with some specialized training. And not long after that, I actually got another level of training to become a laughter yoga teacher, and was certified by the founder of laughter yoga, Dr. Madan Kataria. He started this practice in 1995, and now it's in 70 countries. There's something like 7,000 public laughter yoga clubs, and laughter yoga as a health practice is showing up in business settings, clinical settings, senior centers, schools. It's going everywhere because laughter is the universal human language. And largely, humankind has forgotten how to laugh. So Dr. Katari even says, it's time to dump seriousness. So I like that.
Well, 7,000 laughter yoga centers around the world, did you say, or around this country?
No, there's 7,000 public laughter clubs
hooks
around the world in all different countries. And there are a couple different databases where you can say, like, find a laughter club. In some places they're free. In the West, they largely operate on a donation or, a pay per attendance thing, just like if you go to a yoga class somewhere. So they are everywhere, and it is indeed where a lot of people go to experience laughter yoga for the first time. But the schedules of laughter yoga clubs don't often meet with people's schedules. So now, like with things like Hangouts, I'm going to be extending the reach and the availability of people to experience and learn about this practice, so they can learn it not only as a solo practice, but doing it with other people, with family, with friends, with coworkers.
And what a wonderful thing to do, to share laughter. There's nothing, to me, more bonding, as you said, a universal language in laughter. It crosses all language barriers, and it's infectious, isn't it? Would you want to go into that a little bit more as to how these type of clubs can actually be infectious for each other as far as the benefits they receive?
Well, the benefits are, there's just a variety of health benefits, social benefits, but I want to pause for a minute because you were using the word contagious. Our bodies are actually wired with something that we call mirror neurons, and in the same way, if you see someone yawning,
don't do that.
Okay.
Big X.
It's the mirror, Virginia. It's the mirror neurons in your body that are triggering you to yawn. Well, the same mechanism of mirror neurons is what makes people who hear laughter being continuous triggers their own ability to laugh easier. And this practice is something where you make a motion, a physicality of the body triggers a raft of physiological changes that then make you feel better. So when people do this practice, they even say, fake it till you make it. Not everybody, wakes up feeling great. In fact, in senior centers where people are aging or maybe they have chronic illnesses, they might say, I don't have anything to laugh about. Why would I want to do a laughter practice? Well, they start doing it, and the physicality of it, and because of the mirror neurons and the connection, social connection with other people while you're doing it, triggers these changes where they then say, oh my goodness, I can feel joy again. And it's not because I heard a joke. It's just because I've been willing to get a little playful and practice laughter.
I love it. Hey, Robin, what's going on out there with our viewers? Have they got some comments about this good stuff from Elaine?
Oh, yes. We are having, let me pin a few. We have William Rock, who says, I cannot wait for your HOAs of fun, Elaine Nieberding. In a previous post, he said that he wasn't sure about this at the beginning, but having been introduced to it by you, he is loving laughter yoga. And where are the other ones? Let's see. We have Neil Brown is here and totally needs to laugh more.
Okay.
We have Deborah Rock, who's saying laughter releases so many wonderful endorphins. It really is contagious. And so lots of resonance here with this idea.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, let's get down to it. Elaine. The first is a simple shifting technique. What is this word simple all about that we know, but you've now taken it to a whole nother level?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get into another word first before I get into simple, okay? Because right now I'm in charge. Ha 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 ha. Okay. This show is billed as how do you want to beat your stress? Stress happens when things appear before us that we feel like we have no control over. And we may have thinking or beliefs in place that suggest I'm now vulnerable and I have to defend myself. So then we get emotionally reactive, or we feel all contracted or nervous or whatever. Stressed. Look at this word stressed. If you reverse the letters, it's desserts.
Love it.
Okay,
Makes me hungry.
so much about the work I do is about making a reversal, making a shift, reframing something. Okay, so when you are stressed, the first thing is you have to notice it. So please start your day, everybody, setting the intention. If I'm stressed, let me notice it so I can make a decision to shift out of it and respond in a more helpful, productive way. So you make the shift by giving it a yes. I'm willing to give a yes to make a shift. And if you rearrange the letters in a yes, they become easy. If you think, you can give a yes to a lot of things, but if you think it's going to be hard or laborious, you may not be willing to develop it as a new practice or a habit. So, this is why laughter yoga, laughter wellness practices are so valuable, because they actually are fun. You feel good while you're doing them. Or if you don't start feeling good while you're doing them and you're faking it, you do make it pretty quickly. Laughter, you don't have to buy at the store. It's free. It's simple. You were born with this as a child. About between a month and 2 months old, you started laughing naturally. And not because you were hearing jokes. This is what we want to regain. This natural joy of our human spirit that's in there. It's just been covered up with so much conditioned thinking. We've been taught not how to play, to get along in life, and to succeed. And we've lost a lot of fullness and joy in our living. So now back to simple. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's make it simple. We're going to more frequently practicing. I got them. Give me a minute. Breathing. Smiling. Relaxing. And ha ha ha, where is it? Laughing. But let's get back to simple. Look at ha ha ha. Let's get back to simple. If you look closely, you will see that the letters in the word smile are in simple. Have you ever had a bad day where you were walking across the street and someone was just willing to make eye contact with you and smile, and it just lit up your day? If we just choose more often to breathe, smile as we're walking down the street during the day or doing anything during the day, we will boost the endorphin flow in our body. Now, how simple is that? So I tell you, smile. Now, back to breathe. So many practices nowadays, meditative practices, exercise, yoga, they tell you become more conscious of your breathing. As Americans walking around and many Westerners, when we're breathing normally, we're using only about the top 25% of our lung capacity. Consequently, with this shallow breathing, the stale air never really gets expelled. So when you do conscious deep breathing, or when you're laughing really hard, you're getting out the stale air.
That feels great. You squeeze up from your diaphragm. You can feel that just pushing up and out.
It does.
That lower lung area that's so stale, just what you said.
Now, also think about it, Virginia and Robin. If you're having a hard cry, something is horrible, and you've just given yourself permission to really cry hard, you know what? You're going to have that same diaphragmatic movement. I mean, I could pretend to cry. The same thing is happening. One of the reasons you feel better when you're having a hard cry, you're getting out the stale air too, as well as releasing stuck energy. Laughter releases stuck energy. Crying releases stuck energy. And deep breathing fully oxygenates our body, refreshes the brain, and the little cells in the body get nice and happy. So, now I want to shift into talking about the second topic.
Absolutely. The Heartmath idea.
Okay. Before I got into Reiki and before I got into nursing, I learned a focused breathing technique that was being studied and taught worldwide in many different settings: business, colleges, military installations, because of its proven capability, called Heartmath. And their method essentially said, again, when you notice that you're stressed, you're being emotionally reactive, you know, and you're getting tense and tight, decide to make a shift, focus on your breathing, and focus at it at the heart. Bring back to mind a good feeling about being loved or embraced, or call back the imagery of a beautiful vacation setting or a place where you felt safe or nurtured. Bring back that feeling, and as you breathe in and out, just let that feeling well up in your heart. So that method, Heartmath, they had another name for it called the freeze frame technique, where they would essentially say, when you notice that you're bound up in your stress, they'd say, stop the story. You know, and whatever you believe about the story or the drama going on, and focus on your breathing. Wordplay again. Breathe. If you look at all the letters in the word breathe, you can make the word heart. You can make the words heartbeat. You can make the words breathe at the heart. You see, folks, how simple is this? Breathe, heart, smile, connect with others, laugh, practice laughing, even if you don't feel like anything funny's going on, and you will shift into the state where you're touching your goodness core.
I love that, Elaine. You know, one of the things I would add to that when you're talking about connecting with the heart is when your breath and the thought form, you know my background being a hypnocoach for so many years, when you connect all those things together and direct the breath mentally in and out of the heart space, you can automatically expand it, especially if your thought forms are in an expansive, more positive, calm, or nurtured, or whatever the emotion is that you want to bring in to the body and the soul through the heart. Just direct the breath in and out of the heart center, and that will expand it. So I just think that's just a beautiful technique in and of itself. And as you said, what, takes a couple minutes?
Yeah, just a couple minutes, and again, like everything else, many of these practices, if you sustain them longer periods of time, you may feel a more expansive benefit. But if you bring in it, if you only have a few minutes and you bring the intention to the activity, I am doing this to make a healing shift because I want to be a healing and helping presence in the world. You do. Now, the interesting thing about the Heartmath work, it's been studied, and they really see when people practice this method, it shifts a number of physiological measures, including one that's called heart rate variability. And the heart rate variability relates to the evenness of heart rhythms. When you start practicing this, the heart rhythms smooth out. When the heart rhythms smooth out, they then entrain the electrical activity of the brain. The heart and brain come into coherent sync, and it creates an energetic field around the body, which then actually affects the field and the vibratory capacity of other people around. Most everybody's been around someone who seems so balanced, so centered, and so loving. They just say, oh, when I'm around you, I just feel so good. Well, there are energetic things going on that are impacting the field and even shifting some of their own energetic dynamics. And so it's so interesting how science is now measuring things that we see valuable, perhaps from a cultural perspective or a religious or spiritual perspective.
Beautiful. I really get it, because there's also people that you have been around, I'm sure we've all experienced, that you don't feel so good being around because their energetics are definitely a downer rather than an upper. So I think we all can just pause for a moment and realize that we really, just by shifting our own way of feeling, thinking, and being, can have a positive or negative impact on all those people who are around us. And now we've got Hangouts, and I think it still reflects right through Hangouts. So technology, even though you may not be in the same room with someone, technology gives you the possibility of positively impacting other people's lives. And I know, Elaine, that's what you're doing with your show. I'm just so proud of you and what you've taken on with your show, and I know you're positively impacting a whole lot of people. Let's take a moment and get into the enjoying self-care aspect of the show, where people can get a little lighthearted and joyful themselves. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put on my little Rudolph necklace and say, it's time to get light and joyful and a little playful. I still am on my bouncing ball, which helps keep my energy going. As a matter of fact, I was showing Robin earlier that I can kill two birds with one stone here. Here we go. We'll get the exercise in, but I'm definitely eating a little bit more than I should be.
Virginia, I have to ask you, have you ever fallen off that thing?
No, I really haven't. I guess I'm fairly grounded. But I guess I get a little carried away. And
you have a very good sense of balance, so that's great.
Well, I've been doing my own yoga for, I hate to reveal it, but 45 years now. I've practiced hatha yoga. Never done the laughter yoga, but I think that, all of these things are energetics, and they affect the body, the mind, the soul, and the spirit in, really wondrous ways. I love what you're doing in the laughter yoga department. And so let's share with people some simple techniques for shifting using the laughter yoga techniques that you've got, and how we can enjoy life more.
So what I would like to remind everybody is that we are all worthy of experiencing and extending TLC. Now, we all think of TLC often as tender, loving care, and certainly every one of us wants to feel loved, supported, nourished, comforted when we need comforting. And if we let ourselves receive that, both in outer ways and in inner ways through our spiritual practices, our meditation, we strengthen our capacity then to extend that TLC. But the other words that I've attached to TLC are today's laughter care. And that's something you can give to yourself, either with an individual practice or with joining with some others to do some intentional laughter. So on one of the Hangouts, which I will share with some of you folks, or that you'll see, I often share with people a morning routine that anybody can do to start their day off with laughter. You get out of bed, you say, I want to start my day with TLC. You give yourself a stretch, take a deep breath in, do a long exhale out, and then the next time you do it, you say, okay, I'm going to warm up my laughter. It's been sleeping. And then on that next exhale, you're going to warm up your giggle. So I'm going to invite everybody to do that with me. Take a deep breath in, smile, and just go, ha ha. Ha 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 until you get all the air out. Again, we call this laughter yoga because we're weaving in these deep breathing in with the laughter exercises. So if you're just doing the warm up, your laughter thing, take the deep breath in and keep laughing until all of that air is out. Do that one more time with me. Deep breath in. Ha 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 ha. I want to hear everybody rubbing their audience, you can follow along. In laughter yoga, we often do this thing called very good, yay! And we're just acknowledging that people are following along. So for all of you who are following along, very good, yay. Okay, so let's say you did your morning stretch and then you're on your way to the bathroom and you pass the mirror and you look at the mirror and it's like, oh my God, it's my scarecrow hair. So you go, ha 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 and if you're bald, well then you laugh because you still don't have hair. You might go into the bathroom and then it's time to shower. So what do? You pretend you have laughter toiletries. This is intentional laughter, folks. So you have to be a little goofy, and lest you think you're going to wake up people in the family or have everybody think you absolutely have lost your rocker, you can do any of these exercises as silent laughter. Okay? So as you're pretending you're using laughter soap and lathering and laughing a little differently each different place you lather, you can do it loudly. Ha 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 ha. Oh, laughter shampoo. But the silent version of this is okay, it's not noisy now. And remember, if you were a kid growing up and you saw something really funny going on in the library or at a hospital or in church, you had to stifle your laughter. Simple tip for everybody. If you ever need to give yourself a stress relief break, let's say you're at work, go into the bathroom, close the door, and do the silent look at yourself in the mirror, do the silent laughter, just pretending. And you know what? For me personally, I have found this exercise triggers my body's ability to just keep laughing more easily than anything else. So I just invite you to try it. You're getting back to being playful about self-care. Remember, think about it. Many of the Silicon Valley companies, like Google, and they set up their work environments so people can play. They interact in different ways because the creative process is stimulated by play. So every bit of play that you start doing for your own self-care is going to spill on over and free you up to be more creative and playful in every problem-solving arena of your life. If you get curious and set the intention. So,
I've got a question
for you. Every morning with TLC Laughter Care. You can do that.
Yeah, that's just fabulous. My favorite, and I'd like everyone in the one of our viewers to just write down in the comment section how you're feeling. If you did some of these exercises with us, what's shifted for you? I'd like to hear about that, because I can tell you, first of all, I like the silent laughter the best. It almost starts me into an hysterical type of laugh that in itself is infectious and contagious. Now, that's the first thing I've noticed. I've noticed my heart is fully expanded at this point, open, and feeling connection with you and everyone in the audience. I also noticed that the belly muscles are well engaged when you're doing that silent laughter. So to me, that's one of the best techniques that I've ever, and I know I've done it in the past, but I've never paid attention to what happens when you do that silent laughter.
So when some of you find a laughter club and attend a laughter yoga session, or maybe there will be one at your business or at a community gathering or even at a fundraiser or a conference breakout session, when you are extending this laughing for 10 to 15 minutes, you will get the maximal health benefits. And if you're laughing hard, if you're letting yourself laugh vigorously, you will absolutely feel it in your diaphragm and your belly. You will.
No doubt about it. I just lost one here from, was it William Rock? Did you find it?
The one
almost fell out of his chair. Way to go, William. Let's get into it.
Go, William.
And tears. Yeah, tears is another thing. Actually, I remember when I was younger and hanging out with my buddies, I think this was junior high, we started laughing about something so hard that and it was three of us. It was that silly, but we all peed in our pants. We laughed so hard. So we didn't mention that physiological possibility.
Virginia, it's funny that you mentioned that, because when I walk down the hallway in the retirement community there, where my parents live, on one of the doors of one of the residents' apartments, it says, "I laughed so hard the tears ran down my leg." The exact same thing. Now,
that's beautiful.
You know what? My wordplay muses ringing their bells really hard. Tears. Rearrange tears, and you get a rest. So, if you're laughing so hard that the tears are running down your leg, or if you're giving yourself permission to cry to make an energetic shift, you will come back to a place of rest or balance, or open again to the peace which is our birthright to experience. But we have to get curious enough to say, can I find it? Can I open up the door? Recently, I've been having some conversations with people about the experience of abundance. And, there are so many books out there, the keys to abundance, or the keys to this or that. When it really comes to our well-being, I truly believe the divine is expressing. The door is right there. It's fully open. And in fact, the doors have been removed from the hinges. Step right on up and receive the love, the support, the peace, and the joy that is your birthright. And at this time of year, that's what we're nudged and encouraged to do a little bit more. And so for some people, it will start with that willingness to say, okay, I'll lighten up a little bit. I will play a little more. And if you can start it at the end of the year and weave it with TLC into the new year, everyone will be blessed.
Oh, Elaine, that is such a beautiful way to bring a close to this discussion. Now, we're going to have some more fun in the after show. So Robin's going to go ahead and post in the after show link. I'm going to sign off for now, but I want you to know we're going to be taking 1 week off over the holidays. I'll start the show again the first Monday of January, and we're going to be doing something a little different. Then we're going to be talking about putting the heart of yourself into your business. I know you're going to want to take part in that as well in a couple weeks. In the meantime, I want to thank Elaine. I want to thank Robin. And I want to thank all of you for being here and participating and giving yourself permission to be playful with these exercises that Elaine has shared with us. And understand and remember, it's a simple shift you can make. And when you make that shift, think of all the other people's lives that you can positively impact. So pay attention to how you're feeling and make a simple shift whenever you need to so that you feel better and so that you help spread that energy to the rest of the world.
Hey,
Virginia. All for being here. And, yes,
Virginia?
Go ahead, Elaine. Yes.
We do have a gift for people. And
yes, thank you.
I thought that it was up here. So, and it didn't get saved the way I thought. What I would like to invite people to do is to send me an email to, I'm going to type it up, yeslaugh@gmail.com. Hold on, I'm going to put it on up.
Yeah, we'll post it in the comment section as well.
And they can either send me an email or look in the comment stream for another link that you can go to sign up to be on my mailing list and notifications list, and you'll get a video and a brief ebook from me about making these simple shifts with TLC in the new year.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I almost forgot that. I just got so carried away with feeling good everywhere. Anyway, yes, we'll post that in the comment section. And in the meantime, we're going to post. Have you got that in, Robin? I didn't get a chance.
Yes.
Got the link posted? Come join us in the after show for a little fun and frivolity. And I wish you all the most blessed holiday, no matter what your religion is. Please be blessed and enjoy life and enjoy yourself. Bye. See you soon. Happy New Year.